Hello everybody, it's Larry. Welcome to today's video, or should I say this year's video. It's been a while. It's actually been almost 3 years. Hard to believe. That's how long I've been working on the other tools, and that's about to come out. So now I've got some free time. We can start making videos again. So I'm going to address first, coming back, the topic that I've seen in Facebook quite a bit recently. And it's actually been something that I see in Facebook groups forever. I mean, even during the last 3 years and before that, when I was still making videos. And that is, how is it even possible that if I and my spouse don't match somebody or we don't have an ethnicity, that my child does? Did the test make a mistake? Did DNA skip a generation? What occurred there? So we're going to address that in this video. And no, it didn't skip a generation. So I first want to start by saying DNA drop off is a myth. Okay, there's no such thing. Your DNA's there. It didn't just drop off, but the detectability, and it does drop off of the reporting because the detectability of it is gone. All right, and the reason it's gone is because it falls under a certain threshold. That threshold being 8 centimorgans. So as you see in this slide, you got the little lines and they're peeking over. That's the detection threshold. And all that DNA is there below that threshold is part of your biology. It's in your body. It's there. Okay. And the detection is conditional on it being long enough to be above that threshold. The test only report, and I'm going to say this again, test only report what crosses that threshold. So the fact that it's undetected, aka it doesn't show up in your results, does not mean that you didn't inherit it. Okay? I'm going to say that again too, because this may be the most important part. Undetected does not equal uninherited. You can have inherited DNA from these ancestors in common with your matches, but it not show up on the test. In fact, it's quite likely. Now, I'm going to give you a real world example from my own family. So first I need to clarify and prove to prove what I'm saying here, that this is my daughter, Brianna. And you can see father is Larry Jones, me, mother is Stacy Jones. Okay. So you can see the matches 3468, 3445. There's no question that these are both parent-child relationships to Brianna. We know for a fact who Brianna's parents are. No questions. Larry, Stacy. Okay, that's proven. Now, let's look at the comparison. And if you look at East Midlands, which is the second green one down, you'll see Larry 0, Stacy 0, Brianna 3%. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. We look over on this slide, we see a 003 for the Western Highlands in Scotland. Notice also on the Netherlands, 4%, 1%, and Brianna has 10%. Okay. And then we come over here and you see the bottom three, North Central Europe, Canada, the United States, Northwestern Italy. My wife and I both have 0%, and she has 311. Now, when I say we have 0%, I'm not saying biologically 0%. I'm saying the test detected 0%. The truth is, my wife and or I have an amount equal to that. All right. Otherwise, it wouldn't show up. So let me look at these. I picked the anomalies out of here. So there's 6 of them with anomalies with my daughter that are on this topic. So the Netherlands, 4, 1, and 10%. Ireland, 0, 6, and 11%. Now, it's impossible for our daughter to have that if the parents don't have it, because her entire genome is made up of me and my wife. Well, how did this occur? Why does this occur? Well, DNA tests do not read your entire genome. Now, myheritage tests now are being tested through the whole genome, except it'll be a while before we get information from that back to us, because they've still got to do their analysis and research on it. So before we get some of that back to us that we can do stuff with, that's probably going to be a little bit. So all tests are looking in specific locations, specific patterns, and they only report what crosses their confidence threshold. which is 8 centimorgans. All right. Now, why is that important? Because you can have 30 centimorgans of an ethnicity or a DNA match to somebody, and it's been chopped up, maybe 7 pieces, and you don't have any pieces that are over the 8 centimorgan threshold. So it shows up as 0 on your test. So in DNA testing, detectability is what matters, more than the existence, because it's there. It's just not detected. All right. And see, the big myth that people have with DNA drop off is they think, well, because it's not detected or the numbers vary, there's DNA variance and there's DNA drop off. We'll go into that in detail in a different video. We'll keep this one on topic. So we got an example here, and this is going to be the parent's DNA. So assume this is either me or my wife. And you have all of those segments on top, and those are my ancestors, right? And I've inherited DNA from them. But then when the testing companies put their 8 centimorgan threshold on it to choose which ones to report to me, they're going to do, the orange with the, the cap, and the red with the beanie cap, and the green with the, cowboy hat, and the Viking with the horns. And they may or may not report that little noise between those two. That just kind of depends on how clean it looked in their phasing. So, but it doesn't mean that yellow's not there, green's not there, the orange and red with the top hat, and the little Viking isn't there. They are there. They're in my DNA. And those represent those ethnicities and those DNA matches that I would have with somebody, except that it fell below the reported 8 centimorgan threshold. Now here's the child's DNA. So in here, notice, let me go back to the parents. You notice that there's 2 little light blue ones. Here, they combined to make a single detectable long segment for the test. Now, it was there the whole time. The parent had it. They had the 2 light blues, but they weren't contiguous. So when the test looked and the child inherited it and it inherited it together, now it shows up. So now instead of the parent showing the 4 over here, now we've got the parent or the child showing 5. We've got this DNA that the child has that the parent, quote, doesn't have, but they did have the whole time. It just fell below the detectability. So here's a chart. And the top half is the parents, the bottom half is the children. And the top left, we have the parent, the actual DNA. And you see the dotted line, and that's the reporting threshold of 8 centimorgans. So here's 4 pieces of inherited DNA that I have from an ancestor that I might, share in common with, a DNA match. But because they're all below the 8 centimorgans, none of them are reported. So on the top right, you see 0%, 0% Ireland for Larry, 0% Native American for Larry. Does that mean that Larry's not partly Native American or that? No, it doesn't mean that. But the segments are so small, it's not reported on the test. Now you can see the power of the whole genome sequencing that MyHeritage is targeting. All right, so now when the child is born, you get this, randomization, and some of those 4 segments combined for a 12.4 centimorgan contiguous segment, combined segment, because the test is reading it in the patterns. And so if you have this pattern and you have this pattern and they're the same pattern and they're all together, it now reads that. Okay, it's recombined into what the test determines as this longer segment. And because that, it's now above the reporting threshold. It's above the 8 centimorgans. It's 12.4. So it's reported in the child and it's missing in the parent. And that's exactly how it works. Let me say this again. This is an important concept to understand. For the parents, they had it all along, but the test results say 0. But it was there. And then when the parents passed it to the child, they get next to each other, the segments show, and the child shows, whether it be an ethnicity or now, because it crossed that threshold, it's 12.4 centimorgans, now they've got a match with somebody that you don't have. Your husband doesn't match, your wife doesn't match, but your children do match. And this is exactly why. All right, so DNA inheritance arrives in segments. Some are long, some are short. Sometimes those short ones are right next to each other, making them appear long. Okay, and then in that case, the test detects them. Some that are short are scattered throughout, so they're ignored. All right. So segments below a certain threshold, they're real. They're in your body. They're in the parent's body. They're just ignored by the test. All right, I tried to create a couple of visual examples to show you kind of how this worked. So imagine the test, the DNA test is like a barcode reader, and see the bars, in the parents on the left, it says it's unreadable because some of those bars don't go all the way down or some of the others don't go all the way up. And so when the scan goes through there, it doesn't show up. Okay, it's not detectable as a barcode. But when those lines combine, okay, when you pass your DNA and you have multiple small ones and they combine in your child, it sometimes can become readable. All right. And then the test does pick up that DNA match and that ethnicity. All right. So the absence of evidence is not, okay, let me say that again. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence in DNA. The fact that you don't show a DNA match to somebody, the fact that you don't show an ethnicity doesn't mean it's not there. Okay? DNA does not skip a generation. It doesn't come out of nowhere. And the fact that, it's small segments that are in the parent and then they combine, for the child and shows up in the child, it doesn't violate biology because it was biologically in the parents just below the test threshold. It's always there, just not seen. So the further away you are from an ancestor, the more the DNA for that ancestor gets cut. And so you look down at the bottom right, it says 8th cousin, 3 centimorgans. It says tiny crumbs, no usable DNA. So once it gets so small, okay, once it gets so small, it's not detectable. Even in this, it says 8th cousin. It says 25 centimorgans, 1.5, 1, 0.6. It's only got one detectable, segment there. But you have a 7th cousin, it's got a 5, 3, 2, and 2. Doesn't show any. There's no detectable. Okay, so you wouldn't show them as a match. So it's basically everybody gets theirs cut up differently and in different places. So you have different lengths. Some are long, some are short. And sometimes all of them are short and they don't show up. And then when your child is born, then they show up as longer segments because when they recombine, they recombine together and now they show up. So DNA testing only reports what it can detect. That's why my wife and I had zeros and my daughter had, 3.311% on those that we had zeros. Or in the really unusual ones, I have 1, my wife had 4, my daughter had 10. Or I have 0, my wife had 6, and my daughter, had 11. Either my wife or I had those in smaller segments, but they just weren't together enough for the test to detect them. So the fact that it's not detectable doesn't mean that it wasn't inherited, doesn't mean that I don't have that. And it doesn't mean I pass it on to my daughter in a detectable or undetectable format because it's random recombination. And then it may show up, even though the pieces may be smaller, it may show up in a grandchild. Okay? So DNA isn't that mysterious once you understand how it's working. And the way it really works is just think of it, lots of segments. And that 8 centimorgan threshold is super important. So how does your child have DNA matches or ethnicities that you don't? Well, they don't because you had them all along. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, I'm asking for it now. I didn't in the past, but we're going to ask you so we can maybe grow the channel back to where it could have, should have been. I think when we stopped making videos, we were the second largest channel for genealogy, and now we're, well, I don't know. I haven't checked, but we're way behind. So help us catch up. And I'm going to do something special for this video because we talked about whole genome sequencing, and MyHeritage is doing that. So I'm going to be giving away a free MyHeritage DNA test to one of the people who comment. And I guess we should leave the comments open till what, the end of the year? I think, to be fair, to January 1st, I'll pick the winner. So anybody who says welcome back Larry in the comments, feel free to leave other comments if you want, but in the comments to enter, just put welcome back Larry. Nothing else in the comment, just welcome back Larry, and then I'll have the randomizer pick from those and we'll announce a winner in a January video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the bell notification. And we look forward to seeing you again really soon.